really enjoyed our conversation. That's the one you got to do. Did a great job for us.
Well, let me just say, you heard one of the most eloquent and discussions of the transition that Mac Brown is making. He's an unbelievably classy, successful human being, and we are blessed that Mac Brown was the coach here at the University of Texas.
Bill, you should talk about, and both of these, Steve, also to address the Friday meeting, how that went, and whether, Mac, the door was open for Mac to come back, at least accordingly.
Let me just say there were discussions over a period of time. I think Mac described it's a difficult choice for him, and back and forth. That's the way decisions are made. And, Sunday he decided this was the best for him, family, the university. It's his decision. So obviously,
Dr. Powers, decision region driven at all?
no, I did not hear from any region on this. Have not over the last period of time. I have kept our liaisons informed as to where we are. I read in the papers and the blogs that this was region driven. I was not given any direction at all from any region on this issue. In fact, I was told by region, we don't hire a coach.
On that, what will the search committee look like if you guys figured that out? Who all will be involved in hiring the new coach?
We've really been focused on just getting through the last 24, 48 hours. I think Zach, the rest of us, fill a house and out after this, get our plans together. But we're going to go out there and find the best of the
You guys have the idea about the timeline for the session?
I think the key is setting the criteria, getting some clarity around that.
What is Mac's role? He kind of alluded to it that he was still going to maybe be here. Is that through his 2020, or is there anything clear with his role here?
Well, as I think you know in his contract, which was a provision that was put in a few years ago, I think we've always known Mac won't coach all of his life, and when he didn't, we want him to be a Longhorn, and he can represent the university in a whole variety of ways. He will, that is the role he'll play. It's a special assistant president. We'll sit down and work that out. It will give time to do commentary or consulting or what he wants to do. That's part of the contract. But he will have some role in representing the university. And it's not precisely defined.
Bill, is there a strong likelihood that just the two of you will decide the next coach rather than a selection committee?
Well, let me say Steve will hire the next coach. The next coach will hire him. I don't. Athletics is not my field. It is Steve's field. We will talk together and consult, and we'll sit down and go through a process. I'm sure that we're getting some. Steve Patterson will hire the next one.
Steve, that's what we did at Arizona State, correct?
Yeah, we certainly have constituents that you're going to consult, I'm sure they're informed, have input, set criteria, strategic direction. We got our guys on that side.
Steve, along those lines, though, this is a place where a lot of people want to give input to the person making the call.
Thank God for all fans. You want people to be passionate about football.
Exactly.
You know,
How do-
and Darryl Royal long ago said the great thing about UT is people have passion for football. Trust me, I can see myself.
Do you envision yourself going into a bunker and hiding, and not hiding out from everybody, but just keeping the noise out while you do this?
I think that's the only successful way to have a search process. You know, I'm not going to be sitting in front of you guys every day talking about who had a football win. But, you know, at the end of the day, there's been a lot of malarkey in the press over the last couple of weeks. I think Bill and I have had lunch with about a dozen coaches or something that they reported one another. We didn't talk to anybody that had anything go on. I think you have to have the ability to have a private conversation. Not able to the best coach you get. That's a really good test.
Do you look at like for this, do you want this sort of thing to do about and kind of dealing with all of everything?
I don't think that, I've been an alum for, 30-some years, followed school for a long time, went to school here, it's on a 9-year plan, so, you know, know a lot of people involved here, so, hiring coaches and running an athletic enterprise.
You both kind of touched on a little bit, but what is Texas Blues in the background football?
Obviously, great class and operator, won a heck of a lot of ball games. Today's performance is a clear force. This is Mac Brown. You know, he's sitting at the end. The last week. Watching him perform like this, we were watching you last night, watching Ravens do that. See the last week.
How old is it? Like it, to both of us. I think this is a moment to reflect on that. Mac would always shun talking about the legacy. It is an unbelievable legacy. This is a transition of one of the great football coaches in America of all time. Certainly on the field, national championship at a 4-year run, almost unsurpassed. Tremendous 16-year career with wins. Even more than that, we're talking about graduation rates, the family atmosphere, the way he represents the university, and you see him, and Steve mentioned this, talk to the players after a game, after a victory, after a loss, to see him work with these young people. As I said, we're transitioning with one of the all-time great human
Steve, with the search include the NFL?
I think in college football is a different enterprise than the NFL. There are far different requirements for a college coach. Certainly, you don't have the same sort of interaction with high school coaches, students, academics, mentoring, donor relations, all those kind of demands. I think with the college coaching, I think you have that program. So I think whoever's been coaching is going to have some extensive experience.
What in the end, what did Max say was the reason he wanted to step out?
He didn't tell me anything different than what we just don't do that with us. And I think it was a tough decision for him. And one that it went back and forth on. The one thing he was consistent about, he said, I want what's best for the University of Texas.
Bill, did you or a representative of the university ever officially reach out to Nick Saban about possibly coming here?
Well, I haven't. You read in the newspaper that several months ago there was some contact with his agent. I think that's behind us. I think a lot has been made about that. Casual contact of that sort, why not talk to it? That happens, I think, that's all behind us. Other than that, I have had no contact with Nick Saban or his agent or any intermediary. I don't know Nick Saban. So all of those rumors, the lunches, the meetings, they're simply travel.
People always talk about the special skill set you need to be a head coach here at UT. Can you guys talk about how how, I guess, the special challenge of being a head coach, the skill set that you have to have if you're gonna do it right.
Well, I think you gotta be good for us, you gotta be good for the group, you gotta understand what big time college football program is about. You're gonna be under a lot of scrutiny. You gotta win big, and you gotta graduate your student athletes. You gotta take real classes, you gotta mentor them, you gotta improve the right to become coach. Not necessarily have all those requirements that some other schools have.
As far as the not politics, but as far as the pressure from big time boosters or anything like that, do you think someone has to be as eloquent as Mac is, as good of a communicator, as good of a people person? Is that part of the job?
Well, I think any executive has a list of criteria for what they have to meet, but they don't necessarily have all those skills themselves, and they figure out ways to keep around them. So, that's tough to act on.
Steve Mack said one of the.
The eloquence of what you saw today. Yes, dealing with the press, dealing, you know, this is a very visible institution. But you see that when you're talking with the family or the player, honesty and what he says you can take to the bank. Those, I think that is a skill that any college coach is going to have, not just in the external world, but within the community, with the players and with the coaches. So I think that will be.
Steve, you've hired a lot of great basketball coaches. Is there a difference between hiring a professional basketball coach and college football coach?
Well, I think it's a matter of evaluating what the skill set is. Any coach, the executive. The criteria are different in different spots. We talked the last couple of minutes about what we have at UT. That's my opinion.
Steve Mack said one of the reasons he's stepping away is because of a divided fan base. How much pressure do you feel to make the right hire to get these fans back as one?
I don't worry about pressure. I'm an operator this all the way go right.
Steve, would you like to have a coach by Christmas or even sooner?
I've done coach by Tuesday.
Is that a possibility?
I don't think so.
You are